The film begins in the future, where artificial intelligence now lives alongside humans in our society. That is, many robots were created to help humans. Similarly, a lot has changed in artificial intelligence where now AI has completely forgotten its security protocols and started attacking humans, and in the blink of an eye, more than 100 million people around the world were killed. Every single AI-enabled equipment, be it a machine or a mobile, has started working against humans, and behind them all is an AI robot named Harlan. Harlan was created at a company called Shepard Industries by a scientist named Val Shepard, so that Harlan would protect her daughter Atlas. Harlan was always with Atlas, but due to an unknown bug, he completely changed his code. He also modified the code of all the AI robots around him and turned them all against humans. Seeing the growing threat of AI, the government has joined all the countries of the world to form an organization called ICN, International Coalition of Nations, which fights against AI. Gradually ICN started to dominate on AI, its weapons were hitting the AI straight away. Seeing this now, Harlan had to run away from here. Now after 28 years, ICN again detects an AI advanced robot named Casa. Casa is very powerful in comparison to humans, and he starts beating the ICN team members like a toy. But then a team of ICN gives Casa a powerful electronic shock, and that's how Casa is captured. Now that all of this is going on, we see Atlas Shepard. Now that she's grown up, she lives alone in her apartment. Atlas Shepard is Val Schiff's daughter, who knew Harlan quite well as a child. Atlas is drinking her favorite coffee at home, and then we see in the news where Harlan and Casa are mentioned, and it is said that a new mission is being launched to capture them. Here, General Booth introduces Atlas as a counterterrorist analyst. This means that Atlas also works for ICN, after which these people go to ICN office. Now General Booth and Colonel Elias are talking about this mission. Actually, now someone has to interrogate Casa and extract Harlan's information from him. And for this General Booth chooses Atlas. But then Colonel Elias tells that we are making a big mistake. Atlas is an antisocial girl, and if she doesn't handle the case properly, we'll lose our last chance to find a Harlan. But General Booth has full confidence in Atlas. Now with this in mind, Atlas goes to interrogate Casa, where we see that Casa has been completely dismantled. Only his head responds to the Atlas. Now here, Atlas confuses Casa with her words and finds the location of Harlan. In fact, Atlas lies to Casa that she has traced Harlan through Casa's code, to which Casa revises the code in his mind to confirm. Now from his revision, Atlas gets all the information, which Atlas detects and find out the location of Harlan. Now when Casa finds out about this lie, he is very angry, and throws a weapon from his mouth, but there is a shield between them, so nothing happens to Atlas. Now, by gathering this information, they discover that Harlan is on a planet in the Andromeda Galaxy. Now everyone in ICN is impressed with Atlas that she got this information, and everyone gets ready to go there. Their plan here is to capture Harlan and bring him back, and by decoding its code, we will find out why so many destructive changes have come in it. But Atlas panics a lot on knowing this, and she says no, if they bring him here, he will kill us all. But this is ignored by everyone. After which Colonel Elias introduces a robot named Zoe. These are very huge robots. Their code is also different enough that Harlan will never be able to hack it. These robots connect with humans through Neuralink, in which humans and robots can control each other. Now seeing the Neuralink, Atlas is furious with them. She tells that an accident happened years ago, due to which, Neuralink has been made illegal. But the Colonel tells her that the code was created by your mother, Val Shepard. Here we see quite huge robots like Robocop. Now the soldiers were going to operate them on the battlefield by neurolinking with their brains. Atlas has to accept his mission even though she doesn't want to. After that they leave for Andromeda Galaxy. Here we see a shield is also made to protect the Earth. Now the journey begins and we see Atlas in the ship looking at her old photos, in which were Atlas, her mother and Harlan. And among these memories, Atlas also finds a video of her mother, in which she told about Neuralink, with the help of which she wanted to create a connection between AI and humans, and with this connection, humans could control AI and robots with their brains, but Atlas is pretty much against all of them. Many days pass and soon these people are going to reach the planet where Harlan is hiding. Here, Colonel Elias is giving a briefing to the team. Then Atlas comes there and gives paper files to everyone. Now everyone makes fun of her because who uses a paper file anymore? But she explains that our plan should not be on anything digital because everything can be hacked, and so she tells everyone to take out the Neuralink, and so does everyone else. After that Atlas is telling about location and environment, like GR39, the planet where Harlan is hiding. Its environment is not suitable for humans, there are a lot of storms and lightning strikes, and starts explaining the plan to all of them. Then Colonel Elias goes there and starts explaining everything. Well, their briefing was going on when suddenly the ship was attacked, which is done by Harlan's soldier. Now all the soldiers sit in their respective robots and start entering the battlefield. Meanwhile, Elias tells Atlas a secret, and says we have a carbon bomb that is very powerful, and with it he wants to blast the planet to kill Harlan. Due to this blast, this plant may also be destroyed. Well, now due to the attack, The colonel sends Atlas into the robot that is built for her and throws her out of the spaceship. Now after getting out of the ships, Atlas is seeing only robots and their attacks everywhere. There was a lot of fighting going on everywhere. Atlas did not know how to operate this robot, that's why she was not able to do any activity. But now their spaceship is about to crash on Atlas. But then another officer comes there and saves her. Then Colonel Elias comes there and asks Atlas to sync the robot with the Neuralink, because then that robot will be able to follow his orders. Then Atlas refuses to do this and suddenly falls down. Now no one could save her here because attacks were happening everywhere. She is crying a lot in pain. But then the robot suddenly starts speaking and says, "My name is Smith. I have been made considering your fighting technique. You have to activate your Neuralink with me for my full functions." But as there is no choice, she takes courage and starts operating the robot. Now Smith starts telling her about the initial module, in which there was information to control Smith, but Atlas had to get to the rescue port quickly. Now Atlas starts taking the robot by walking, because she still hasn't Neuralinked the robot. But after a short distance, Atlas sees that all her companions' robots were lying there, and all the officers in it were also dead. In fact, all these officers were killed by robots of Harlan. Now Atlas collects their batches and keeps them. But then she notices that Colonel Elias is not in the Zoe robot. That means he may still be alive. Then Atlas sees Casa and she is shocked. Harlan has prepared a whole army here. Then those robots come back and attack Atlas. Smith is saving Atlas on one hand and fighting them on the other. Now during this fight Smith gets caught in a storm. Meanwhile, the rest of the robots start approaching her. Atlas then asks Smith to use the iron bomb. But Smith forbids it because it can cause the Earth to explode. But Atlas starts to stubborn. So does Smith now. As soon as this iron bomb explodes, everything near it is destroyed, including those robots. But Casca robot returns again. And as he begins to attack Atlas, the Earth begins to explode, and they fall very low into the ground, due to which the leg of the Atlas is fractured. Now the Smith places a metallic sheet over it for a temporary solution. And to lighten her mood, Smith offers him a piece of candy, which contains a lot of protein and nutrients, but it tests very poorly, and so they both have a final friendship, and Atlas begins to rely on robots. Smith then asks Atlas to wear a Neuralink and sync with him so they can become one mind. On the other hand, we see Harlan, who has captured Colonel Elias, and he was stealing the information directly from his brain, by inserting a needle straight through his eye to get some kind of information from him. Here, Smith and Atlas were unable to sync because Atlas was not giving Smith full access to her mind, because she still didn't fully trust him. But after a lot of discussion, Atlas gives a limited access. Now Smith calculates the whole situation, and sees that he had 14 hours remain, after which he would shut down completely. Now these two somehow climb up and come to the surface, but Casca finds them with the help of a drone. In the middle of it, Smith shows Atlas beautiful plants to please her, and keeps a sample of it. Well, now Casca had reached them, but Smith is prepared this time. Smith had laid thermal mines for him. As Casca descends, a series of explosions begin. Now after going further they find Casca's head, which Atlas destroys. Now Atlas asks Smith to go to Harlan's location, but Smith forbids, saying that once they go there, they cannot come back. And he begins to lead the Atlas to the rescue pod. That's why Atlas leaves Smith and goes out on his own to Harlan's location. But Sumit can control Atlas's body with Neuralink and stops her straightly. Now because of this, Atlas's old memory of Harlan starts to bother her. Here we know that because of the same Neuralink, Harlan also controlled Atlas's mom, and shoot her by herself, and that was the reason Atlas does not want to connect herself to any robot with Neuralink yet. Smith also sees these memories and apologizes to Atlas for all these things. After this, Atlas again asks Smith to go to Harlan's location, so that she can tag this place and send the ICN army there, and those people will come and destroy it. Now Smith reaches that location, but the robots there hack into Smith and shut him down and take Atlas to Harlan. Now here we understand Harlan's plan. In fact, he wants to attack the Earth with their carbon bomb, so that as many people as possible can be destroyed on the Earth. And in the remaining place he wants to bring AI army. Now Harlan needed 2 codes to reach this boom. One code Harlan gets from the Colonel's mind and the other code he gets through Atlas. That is, Harlan now knew the location of the carbon bomb. Now after that he imprisons Atlas. Now the Atlas was tied here, and nearby we see Colonel Elias is also there. Now they both make a plan. Elias then gives his Neuralink to Atlas so she can connect with Smith. Smith was shut down but finally wakes up after several attempts. Now Smith asks her to sync straight 100% this time. Now Atlas starts doing the same, and slowly Smith starts seeing all her childhood memories, where we know that Atlas often feel ignored in childhood, because her mother was always busy in upgrading Harlan. Now one day little Atlas comes to Harlan and says, "I want to be smart like you. Give me all your information." After which both of them were connected with each other by Neuralink. But here Harlan starts to read all the memory from the mind of Atlas, where he sees how artificial intelligence is superior to humans and humans are destroying the Earth. Now seeing this, he immediately starts updating his code to make himself superior. Now it was going on when the scientist Val came there, that is, Atlas's mother, and she removes the Neuralink, but Harlan takes control and kill her, and makes all AI like himself. Well, now both Atlas and Smith are fully synced, and they go out to fight. They both run to stop the rocket from launching, but in between they find a lot of robots. But Elias comes to their help at one point and blows up the robot with the weapon there. Atlas and Smith are about to reach the launch rocket, killing them all, but then Harlan arrives, and he constantly bombards both of them. But just then that rocket is launched. Now here Atlas connects another robot's weapon with her and fires at this rocket, after which the rocket is completely destroyed and there is a huge blast. Now Harlan comes to catch them. A fight starts between Atlas and Harlan. Harlan pulls out a weapon and starts stabbing Smith everywhere, due to which many parts of his body are separated. Harlan now directly targets Smith's arc reactor, which causes Smith to fall down. Now Atlas also faints due to this. Here, Smith takes Atlas out of system and gives her a shock from the outside, and starts fighting Harlan with his other arm. Harlan was attacking Smith over and over, causing him to become quite damaged, but finally Atlas wakes up and comes from behind, and stabs Harlan in the head with a rod, and weakens it, and then she takes out Harlan's CPU, and just like that, Harlan is dead. Smith now starts giving Atlas oxygen to carry her to the rescue powder. Atlas has requested Smith to go with her, but at that time only one could get out of here. That is why he begins to sacrifice himself. Now Smith gives Atlas a lollipop of her favorite coffee before leaving, and with that it shuts down. Now it becomes day here in a short time. Other officers from Earth had also come here. Now Atlas is finally brought back to Earth, and we see after a few days Atlas was now living a full normal life. She had also become a ranger. General Bot gives Atlas the same plant he found in the moth storage box. The family of fellow martyred soldiers also thanked Atlas, because she brought back everyone's batches. Now because Atlas has become a ranger, she has her own robot Smith. Its software is revised and brought it back to life, seeing which Atlas is very happy. And with that, this sci-fi movie ends.